Along Italian-era boulevards and narrow, bustling alleyways, the rhythms of tradition intertwined with the machinery of modernity. Soviet-built lattice and Italian Fiats glided past hand-painted buses, their sides adorned with Somali proverbs, while horse-drawn carts shared the road with bicycles. The scent of grilled corn and freshly brewed shah drifted through the air as vendors set up their stalls beneath the palm trees, readying for a day of trade. The markets of Mogadishu were more than centers of commerce. They were spaces of cultural and intellectual exchange. At newspaper kiosks, groups of men and women gathered. The bold headlines, proudly displayed in the newly standardized Somali script, the voices of readers carried through the streets, drawing small crowds who listened intently, reflecting the newfound pride in literacy brought about by the government's sweeping education campaigns. Walls in the city were adorned with revolutionary slogans and posters of President Siad Barre, whose image, often flanked by the Somali flag, served as both a symbol of progress and a constant reminder of the revolution's ideology. Billboards and murals throughout Mogadishu projected the spirit of the era. In striking colors, they depicted workers, farmers, and students united under the ideals of scientific socialism. Siad Barre's gaze met citizens at every turn, a visual affirmation of the government's promise of unity, literacy, and self-reliance. These images wove themselves into the fabric of daily life, transforming public spaces into canvases for a national narrative of hope and ambition. Amid this vibrant urban landscape stood Somali National University, the intellectual nucleus of a nation. Located in the heart of the city, its gates welcomed students of every corner of the country. The campus was a sanctuary of order and purpose, its trees lined pathways and modernist buildings, offering a stark contrast to the city's frenetic energy. Beneath the trees, students gathered in small groups, their conversations blending with the gentle rustle of leaves. Education here was a personal pursuit, but also a collective mission to forge a Somalia that could stand tall among nations. Inside the lecture halls, the air was thick with focus. Professors, many trained in the United States, Soviet Union, and other global centers of learning, led classes in disciplines that aligned with Somalia's development goals: engineering, medicine, agriculture, and the arts. The use of Somali as the language of instruction was a revolutionary choice, asserting that the language of poetry and oral tradition could also be the language of science and progress. Lessons extended beyond the theoretical. They were imbued with the urgency of a nation in need of practical solutions. The library stood as the intellectual heart of the campus, a quiet refuge where students immersed themselves in texts that spanned continents and ideologies. Shelves held volumes in Somali, Russian, Italian, and Arabic, bridging the wisdom of the world with the Somalia's unique cultural heritage. For students, the act of reading was an act of a nation building, each page turning toward a vision of self-reliance and collective prosperity. But for many students, the classroom was only part of their day. As lessons ended and the sun reached its zenith, some left the tranquil halls of the university for the clang of iron workshops and factories. In a welding shop not far from campus, sparks flew as young hands steadied metal beams for bridges they dreamed of building. For these students, work was more than a necessity. It was a complement to their education, a place where theory met practice, and where the promise of their lectures took shape in steel and fire. As the sun set over Mogadishu, the city's vibrancy softened into an amber of glow. The streets quieted, the hum of workshops faded, and the jaranda trees of Somali National University cast long shadows across the campus. In this moment of peace, the aspirations of a generation endured. Students returned to their dormitories, books in hand, ready to carry forward the promise of a nation determined to shape its future through knowledge, labor, and unity. Mogadishu and its university were more than places. They were reflections of hope, resilience, and the enduring pursuit of progress.